Today's lesson is about a burner that won't work. This is a Mighty M model HSE. I want to find the model number and the serial number down here in front. HSE 3004OM10. Means it's 4 gallons a minute, 3,000 PSI. It's electric. ID tag tells you everything you want to know about that unit there. This particular situation, customers' complaint is the burner would ignite, run for a few seconds, and then go out. In order to get the burner to reignite, they'd have to turn the machine off, which in this case they use a rotary switch on the panel. Let it sit, turn it back on again, burner will come on, a few seconds and go back out. Sounds like a fuel filter problem. So it has a Raycor fuel filter. I removed the fuel filter because it was acting like it was restricted for flow on the inlet side. Looked at the inside and it looked really clean, not even that dirty. No sediment on the bottom. The actual inside, the pleated paper element on the inside of the filter looked good. So I kind of felt like I needed to go a little bit farther. And so this particular system has got a two-line fuel system. Runs off the fuel tank in front. And so if you look up underneath, hopefully you can see that, where the fuel line comes out of the top of the tank. It's pretty tight up inside there. In one of our previous lessons we talked about there's a fuel pickup line that goes down inside to the bottom of that tank, and that fuel pickup line once in a while get plugged up. I've seen that a few times, so that's kind of where I went with this one. In order to remove this fuel tank, you've got to take off the strap bolts. There's a bolt there, there's a bolt there. The black straps run up over the top of the tank, back down over to the other side. All four have to come off. Take all four off, then you can remove the straps and you can slide that fuel tank all the way out to the front of the machine. Then you can access that fuel line, which I've already done. Well, after I took out the fuel line, it was clean. So then I was really confused. So I reinstalled the fuel tank, put the straps back down, tightened them down, took off my fuel line, my inlet fuel line. Hopefully you can see that right up inside there. Took it off. Come over here and you notice this particular unit has got a shutoff valve on it. The reason it's got a shutoff valve on it is that when you replace this fuel filter and you take that off, this fuel line, the inlet fuel line, is going to be full of fuel. And remember that fuel line actually comes all the way down to the bottom. So if this tank is empty, is full, then you're going to actually draw a siphon out and you're going to make a mess of fuel all over the place. So what they do is they put this shutoff valve right here on the side. That way you can shut the fuel off, screw it all the way in. You can service your fuel filter, reinstall it, and then you can come back and open up the fuel valve. Well, this fuel line I blew out, no restriction. I took this valve off, and after taking this valve off, I found that on the inside of this valve, there were some ants. And one thing you're going to find out as you work around these things is that insects are attracted to diesel fuel. Moths, bees, in this case we've got ants. Around over here in the front, you can see they must have a nest of ants around here somewhere because they've got some that have died. They eat the diesel fuel and then they die. All around. Well, apparently they've gotten into the fuel tank. And they go up and they plugged up that valve. It's almost like that valve was shut off. So I cleaned it out, blew it out, take an O-ring pick and kind of dig them out a little bit without damaging the seat. Now I'm getting ready to tighten it up, tighten that valve off, the shutoff valve, tighten that shutoff valve up, and then tighten the inlet line, and then we're going to be good to go. So always be looking, and not always straightforward. The normal procedure would have been just to replace the fuel filter and let it go. In this case, it was obvious it wasn't the fuel filter because it wasn't the least bit dirty. So we got to look somewhere else, and that way we save these guys money.